Imagine you're at the airport, shoes in one hand, laptop in the other, rushing to catch a flight. What if I told you one of the most annoying parts of airport security, something we've all done a million times, might soon be history? That's right. 2025 is bringing some of the biggest changes to TSA rules we've seen in years. From keeping your shoes on to big updates on IDs and liquids, there are 10 changes you absolutely need to know before you fly again. Let's break them all down and make sure you don't get caught off guard. This is Elite Trailblazer, travel tips that actually work. If you fly even once a year, what we're covering today matters to you. The TSA has been rolling out updates that will change how you pack, what you bring, and even how you move through airport security. Some of these changes are already in effect, some are rolling out later this year, and some are things you'll want to start preparing for now. I've gone through the official TSA announcements, credible news sources, and airport updates so you don't have to. Let's get right into the 10 TSA rule changes you need to know for 2025. First up, let's talk about something travelers have been dreaming about for years: keeping your shoes on. As of July 8, 2025, the Department of Homeland Security officially ended the universal shoes-off rule at most TSA checkpoints across the country. This change has been possible thanks to better scanning technology that allows security to check for prohibited items without making everyone walk barefoot. Now, in most airports, you can keep your shoes on and glide through security, but keep in mind that if your footwear sets off alarms, you may still be asked to remove it. So yes, your socks get spared, but maybe still avoid those with holes if you want to keep your dignity. Second, and this one is huge, real ID enforcement is finally here. Starting May 7, 2025, you'll need a real ID compliant license or another acceptable form of identification, like a passport, to fly domestically within the United States. No more grace periods, no more exceptions. If your driver's license doesn't have the little star in the corner, it's time to upgrade or risk being turned away at the checkpoint. TSA has been warning travelers about this for years, but now it's official. So do yourself a favor and check your ID now. Better yet, carry your passport just in case. Next up are some changes that might affect what you pack in. As of August 15, 2025, cordless curling irons and flat irons that use butane or gas cartridges, along with their refill cartridges, are completely banned from checked luggage. You can still carry them in your hand luggage, but they must be properly covered and protected to prevent accidental activation. This rule was put in place for fire safety reasons. After all, a fire in the cargo hold is the last thing anyone wants. If you absolutely must bring styling tools, consider swapping to a corded version or double-checking your airline's rules before you fly. Now, let's talk liquids. You know the rule, 3.4 ounces or 100 milliliters, all in a quart-size bag. Well, TSA is actively testing new CT scanning technology that may eventually allow us to travel with larger liquid amounts or stop removing them altogether. This is already happening in some pilot airports where advanced scanners are installed, but for now, assume the 311 rule still applies at most airports. If you want to avoid surprises, check your departure airport's website before you pack. One day soon, you may be able to stop juggling shampoo bottles at security, but we're not quite there yet. Another major change is the rollout of new screening technology. Airports are rapidly installing KIAT-2 credential authentication units that instantly verify your ID and flight details, as well as new CT scanners that allow your laptop and liquids to stay in your bag. Facial comparison technology is also being tested at many checkpoints to speed up the process even further. These upgrades are designed to make the lines faster and reduce the number of bag checks, but they can also be a little startling if you're not expecting them. Don't worry, you still have the option to request a manual ID check if you prefer. TSA PreCheck is also evolving in light of these changes. Traditionally, one of the big perks of PreCheck was keeping your shoes on and leaving laptops in your bag. Now that those benefits are being rolled out to more passengers through improved tech, PreCheck's main value lies in its faster, dedicated lanes and lower chance of random secondary screening. If you travel even a few times a year, PreCheck is still worth it for the time savings, but make sure your known traveler number is correctly attached to your reservation before you check in, or you won't get the benefit. Let's not forget about checked bags. TSA has tightened the rules on what you can and can't put in them, especially when it comes to lithium batteries and other hazardous materials. If you're carrying power banks, e-cigarettes, or anything with lithium batteries, those must go in your carry-on, not your checked luggage. There are also stricter guidelines for fuel canisters, self-heating meals, and similar items. This is all in the name of reducing fire risk in the cargo hold, so be sure to double-check TSA's "What Can I Bring" tool online before you pack. Identification itself is also getting smarter. More airports are accepting mobile driver's licenses and other digital ID solutions that can be scanned directly from your phone's wallet app. This can speed up the process significantly, but don't rely on it as your only form of ID just yet. Not every state or airport supports mobile ID, and technical glitches happen. Always carry a physical backup, just in case. Enforcement is also getting stricter. TSA continues to intercept thousands of firearms each year at security checkpoints, and penalties are steep, often thousands of dollars, plus possible criminal charges. If you're a gun owner, make absolutely sure you understand the federal and local regulations about transporting firearms before you head to the airport. This is not an area where oops is an excuse. Finally, we circle back to the real ID requirements because this is the one that catches the most people off guard. Once the enforcement deadline passes, using a non-compliant ID will not get you through security. There won't be a grace period or a helpful agent waving you through. Make sure your license has the star or bring a passport. If you're traveling with kids, check what documents they need as well. Each state has different requirements, and you don't want to find out at the gate. So with all of these changes happening, how do you make sure you breeze through security? The first step is to check your airport's website before you travel. See whether they have CT scanners or Cat2 technology installed, and check if your state's digital ID program works at your departure airport. Next, double-check your identification. If your driver's license isn't Real ID compliant, get it updated now or bring your passport with you. Also, take the time to adjust what you pack. Leave behind banned tools, properly pack batteries, and use the TSA website to verify what's allowed. If you haven't already, this is a great year to sign up for TSA PreCheck or Global Entry. These programs make a real difference in wait times, especially during busy travel seasons. And finally, pack a little earlier than usual so you're not stressed when you discover that something you plan to bring is no longer allowed. One of the most common questions travelers have is whether these changes apply everywhere. The answer is not yet. Some rules, like Real ID enforcement, are nationwide, but technology upgrades like CT scanners are still being phased in airport by airport. Another big question is whether the liquids rule is really going away. The answer is possibly, but not everywhere and not all at once. And no, TSA PreCheck isn't useless now, even with some of these new benefits rolling out to everyone. You'll still enjoy shorter lines and faster processing in most cases. So there you have it, the 10 TSA rule changes you absolutely must know for 2025. Shoes can stay on, Real ID is required, some items are banned from checked bags, and screening technology is getting smarter. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more tips that will keep you ahead of the curve. And remember, Elite Trailblazer, travel tips that actually work.